My name is Armin Iskandar. My student card name is 2019425128. So today we want to talk about this elevation. So the LDA 201 assignment required me to find a elevation. So as we can see right here, there is a quite high level elevation. So I think the water will flow right from up there to right here, so that the water can be flow correctly to the drain. On the other hand, there is a high visibility for driver down here to up there, because the view is kinda upward. So in logic, that the driver from this side can view more visibility from up there. So I think that's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Today I want to demonstrate the water flow test to this elevation. So I have a bottle of water right here. So okay, I pour it straight bottom down there. So it's clear that this area is higher than down there.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next example of pad elevation is car ramp. As we can see here, there's a few part of it has crack and it needs maintenance, but this car ramp still can be used very well. Car ramp provides a simple method of raising an automobile from lower ground to a higher ground. The water flow on this car ramp is perpendicular. If it is raining, the water will go down from spot A to spot B, as spot A is higher than spot B.
Today, I want to present about a slope pad elevation at field. First, the field is in a good condition but has a few small puddles. Next function, the field was a place for the community to play football. And water flow along the edge of the field next to the road, because the height of the road is slightly lower than the field. Thank you.
The condition for this walkway is good, as there are no water overflow and stagnant water on the walkway. The function is as the walkway for the residents to walk on it without step on the ground or grass at the house area. The water runoff is pitched to one end, where it is from the walkway straight forward to the ground, as the walkway are higher than the surface beside, which is the ground. There are no drain beside or nearest the walkway. Assalamualaikum and hi. Today I want to explain about steps to calculate the pad elevation and how to answer the pad elevation problem. The first step is we have to find and calculate the missing point of spot elevation on the pad. Based on the pad elevation, the spot elevation A has been given, which is 87.6. Meanwhile, spot elevation B is a missing point. The slope gradient for this spot elevation has been given, which is 7.5%, and the length between spot elevation A and spot elevation B is 50 meters. To find the missing point spot elevation, we have to find difference between spot elevation A and spot elevation B by using the formula, which is difference equal to gradient multiple to length. After find the value of d, which is 3.75, it must be minus with the point given, which is 87.6, because the missing point B is lower than spot elevation A. Second step is draw the butterfly diagram based on the all information given, where contain a number of contour lines, the spot elevation A and spot elevation B, the slope gradient, and the cut and fill. The next is explanation about the pad elevation, where the slope gradient is 7.5%. The step is to find a distance between spot elevation A, which is 87.6, and nearest contour line, which is 87. To find a distance, we have to use the formula where difference in elevation divided by gradient. Then we will get the answer, which is 8.0 meter. Next, we have to find a distance between contour line 87 and contour line 86. To find a distance between contour line, we also have to use the same formula where difference in elevation divided by gradient, and the answer will be 13.33 meters. Next question is make all the fields at 6% and cut at 8%. First of all, I will explain about how to calculate the cut, which is 8%. The first step is we have to find a distance between spot elevation A, which is 87.6, and nearest contour line, which is 88. To start the calculation, we have to draw a triangle where contain the information to find the distance. Then we have to make sure the position of contour line, spot elevation A, and gradient are in the correct position. To find a distance between spot elevation and nearest contour line on the cut, we still have to use the same formula where difference in elevation divided by gradient, but we have to change the value of gradient, and then we will get the answer, which is 5.0 meter. Next is find a distance between contour line 88 and contour line 89. When we draw a triangle, we have to make sure that the highest contour line, which is 89, are on the top, while the lowest contour line, which is 88, are on the bottom. Find a distance between contour line, we also have to use the same formula, which is difference in elevation divided by gradient, but we have to change the gradient where 0.08, and the answer will be 12.5. Last but not least, I will explain about how to calculate the field, which is 6%. First of all, we have to find a distance between spot elevation B, which is 83.85, and nearest contour line, which is 83. As usual, we have to draw a triangle and make sure all the value are in the correct position. Then we also have to use the same formula where the difference in elevation are 83.85 minus 283 divided by the gradient, which is 0.06, and we will get the answer, which is 14.17 meters. And the last step on how to calculate the field is we have to find a distance between contour line 83 and contour line 82. As usual, we have to draw a triangle and make sure all the values are in the correct position. To find a distance, we have to use the same formula where the difference in elevation are 83 minus 82 divided by gradient 0.06, and then we will get the answer, which is 16.67 meters.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. Now I'm going to show you how to draw lines of every distance that I have calculated. This is based on scale 1 to 1000. We can use regular ruler. 1 cm equal 10 meters. The first line is on pad elevation. The distance with spot elevation A with contour line 87. The distance that I have calculated is 8 meters. So just measure it and draw the lines. The next distance that I have calculated is between spot elevation B with control line 84. The distance that I get it is 2 meters. Measure 2 meters on the pad elevation and draw the lines and make it to the control line of 84. The next step is cutting at 8% of slope gradient. The distance that I have measured between spot elevation A and control line 88 is 5 meters. The second distance that I have measured is between control line 88 with control line 89. The distance that I have calculated is 12.5 meters. The last one is fields at 6% of slope gradient. The distance between spot elevation B with control line 83 is 14.77 meters. So we just measure it, 14.77 meters, and draw the line to the 83 control line of 83. The last distance is between control line 83 and control line 82. The distance I have calculated is 16.67 meters. Starting from this line and measure it 16.67 meters. And this is how our drawing should look like based on the scale and the distance between the spot elevation and control line on our calculation. That's all from me. Thank you.